Hello, ladies. Karen McCoy here, your host today in another session of Built to Last Food Movement Mindset for Women Over 50. Okay, let's get right to it. What I want to do today is I want to do a client scenario. So I do a lot of these with the members in my programs because it's really, really powerful and very helpful when we're working in group, which is absolutely important in my view for women to get and sustain body and life transformation results because we're working in community. And when one woman's asking something, you know that other women are like, yeah, that's a great question. Maybe they were afraid to ask or they didn't think to ask, but it helps to elevate and move forward the learning really, really fast. And there's so much to learn from other women. So I'm on a lot of different Facebook and Instagram posts, pages and stuff, of course, because of my work. I'm in nutrition. I'm in training, of course. I'm in healthy aging. I'm in osteoporosis pages, but this one came from a weight training page, and I want to go over it. This is anonymous, so she anonymously went in here, which is cool. A lot of women do because they're nervous of being vulnerable. And I call this kind of coaching crowd coaching. So crowd coaching is where women they come into a post and they're posting, I'm stuck here, here's my weight, here's my training, what am I doing wrong, blah, 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 all of this stuff. Now, crowd coaching has its place, but it does have a lot of drawbacks because you can get 50 different answers, right? Because you're asking a lot of people, and a lot of them are not coaches. A lot of them are following trendy stuff as well. So you really got to pick your way through, right? But it is helpful for women who are new to the game, who just want to be a part of and just get a feel for stuff. So I think group coaching has its place, but I would just say tread lightly for sure. You really can't take the place of one-on-one coaching. But here's her post, and I want to go through what a lot of the people on the page said to help this woman through. And I'm hoping in doing this that you're going to be able to have a better perspective on this crowd coaching approach. And maybe if you're in that avenue, if you're posting or somebody else is posting, you might get a clear idea of what to put in and what not to, because like I said, it can be helpful, but it can also draw women away from their results. It can get very confusing, especially for the newbie, right? So this woman said, here we go. I'm at a point where I'm sick of thinking about calories, how many calories are in certain foods, feeling guilty for eating foods I enjoy, weighing everything to the gram, getting enough protein, fiber, etc. I hate weight training with every fiber of my being. Okay. Especially when it seems impossible at the moment to lose anything. I'm 47 and very perimenopausal. I didn't know. I thought they were all very perimenopausal. I've lost 2 stone. So a stone is 14 pounds. So this woman is obviously from overseas, probably the UK. But I have constant food noise. It's actually making me so sad as food and my weight are constantly on my mind. I'm 5'2" and around 10 stone. So she's 140 pounds. Does anyone else feel like this? I just want to sit on my couch with a family sized bag of crisps and a bottle of wine and forget about it all. Oh, God, I love this woman. I love it. Okay. So here's some of the things that came in. Find a way to work out that suits you and that you enjoy. Visit different gyms, get a different feel, try taking classes, a team sport, or working with a coach. Good advice. I love this one. So do that. Eat the crisps, drink the damn wine, get it out of your system, take a week off, forget about it. It's a lifelong journey, this fitness thing. You have to adjust sometimes. And hey, it's okay if weight training isn't for you. Find another activity that gets your body moving and that you enjoy. I love that advice. Um, this woman says, I'm 50, and while I love weight training, I do not enjoy macro tracking. I did it for a few years and then gave up as it made me far too obsessive and sucked every ounce of pleasure out of eating. I see this a lot. I tend to agree with that. Um, Let me see. I felt like this, but then I look back at how far I've come. Very important. And I go to the gym. I find it helps to have a goal, something to aim for. So this woman is doing a show next year. So she has that goal. It is really powerful and it drives you more forward when you have a goal. For some women, it's going on holidays, right? For other women, it might be some kind of a graduation. That goal thing is pretty important. I do agree with that. She said, this woman who's also anonymous says, nobody can live on a diet 24/7. Absolutely true. Find an activity you enjoy. Don't lift the weights. Life's too short to do something we don't like. Weights are not for everyone. Yep, I agree with that. This one is in perimenopause, and she goes through everything that she's taking in all of her hormonal stuff. Might be too much info, might not even be hormonal. I wouldn't start with hormonal with this woman, honestly, but she is going in and sharing her results with HRT. So that's cool. I'm in menopause now, and I feel like I am losing the battle hard right now. I gained back every pound I lost, although I keep going. It's tough. I have an appointment with my doctor hoping to straighten out my hormones. So, again, there's the hormone thing. This woman says, I have disordered eating. I had disordered eating, but I was so obsessed with calories and being in a deficit that I definitely was under 100 pounds. I just ate cleaner and I don't eat junk food. So, nevertheless, it's a day off in moderation. So, yeah, lots of different experiences here. You may be limiting your food too much. Give yourself some grace. I love the grace thing. Brittany asks, is there a reason you are this strict with your eating? Good point. Okay. Mindset, Nan. Got to look at mindset. This one says, having the desire to eat chips on the couch and forget it all does not have to mean actually doing that. I think if I thought about it and didn't do it, it would make more of a want, but whatever. A lot of my journey has been learning to ignore those feelings and desires and replace them with something more healthy and productive. Okay, I like that. Ice cream was a big one I struggled with, and now I don't even want ice cream. It takes time, but you'll be so thankful for those little choices. I like that. This woman says, do the wine and the chips and get back to routine afterwards. Allow yourself some grace. There's that grace word again. I love that. Doing all the things all the time can be tough. Adding in perimenopause to the mix and the overwhelm is real. I'm going to echo others and say, take a break. What I will also say, though, is that I would set some boundaries. A bottle of wine and a bag of chips sounds good, and it might be enjoyable for the short term, but how will future you feel? That is super important. That's super important. We all need a break, but maybe sit down and think about this. Yes. Yep, perfect. I like this last one. This one really spoke to me. The advice was we should stop. She gave this to another woman. We should stop always asking, "Did the scale go down?" But evaluate our growth and progress with other questions. Am I getting stronger? Am I eating better? Am I hitting my protein more consistently? Am I handling the weekends better? Am I getting back on track faster when life happens? So you can see there's a whole mirage of answers coming in here, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. But I think the most important thing about crowd coaching is the support that you get. There's no way this woman would be able to, put all these things into place. But when you read and reread and consider them all, then you can sit back and just apply one or two. I honestly, I would want this woman to work with a coach that is workable with women at this age. Now, 47, she says she's very perimenopausal. That's my first thought. It might not be menopause. It might be her food is off. She's overworked. She has too many things in her life that she's doing. She's maybe not sleeping. And all of that creates havoc in the body. And yes, it does mess with hormones, but it doesn't mean your hormones are the problem. It might mean that your lifestyle is the problem and it's creating havoc everywhere else. So it would do her good to go to a hormone specialist and to have her hormones checked in blood work. Again, this is another whole story. Some women, they like blood work. Other women like the questionnaire. I like practitioners that do both. And that way you can look at symptoms and you can also look at the blood work and see what's happening. I would say that could be a place for her to go. But more importantly, for this woman, In my view, she is just push, push, push. And I did make a comment on this page. I said, you know, from what I'm seeing, this is a mindset and lifestyle issue first and foremost. Before you start playing with your food, before you start looking at your hormones, um, we need to look at where your life is. What are your daily stresses? What is your day like? What is your job like? How, like, I don't think she said how many kids she has, if she even has kids. I don't know. So lifestyle is the most determining factor, because lifestyle creates the foundation. Without knowing where they're at, it's just like, throwing pasta at the fridge and hoping that it sticks. So while the women coming in here in this crowd coaching approach are all being very helpful, they're also coming from their experience, right? So they're coming in talking about how, counting macros made them more crazy with the food. Some say take a break, some say don't take a break. They're all coming from their own experiences. So as a coach, what we're meant to do is move into their world, step into their shoes. Now, it takes more time, and some women don't want the time. They just like, give me the answer, give me the info, please. And that's fine. But the women I work with is where I move into their world, because I have to come and see them in their world. And then I work from there backwards. That's the most important part. So we have to meet them where they're at, right? That would be my thing. So I would want to ask deeper questions of this woman if I were coaching her. She has lost some weight. So she's lost 2 stones. So she's lost 28 pounds, almost 30 pounds over the years. So it's not a lot, but what it's saying is she's capable. Okay, so that's also giving her a little bit of momentum to say, look, you've done it before. Because a lot of women say, my body's broken. It's not like everybody else's. It's not happening. I'm doing everything right. It's not true. It's just not true. We have to like take the lid off here and have a deeper look. But she has constant food noise. Okay, so she's thinking about food. That's the new way of saying that, they're always in their head about food, the food noise. And it's actually making me so sad, because food and her weight are constantly on her mind. Okay, so there's the rub. Okay, so this is a mindset issue. She's in a push push. She's like a fish swimming upstream. She's looking at this as the weight loss is the goal. But what I would say is, are we here to build health or to lose weight? When we look at it as building health, and I would get her off the scale. And that's hard for some women, but I'm telling you, women, it's an obsessiveness. And when we're weight training, we're adding on muscle. And you guys know this, it weighs more than fat, but it takes up less space. That's why you look smaller, but you actually may weigh more. And it's also drawing nutrients and water into the muscle. This is the good thing. And if she's already obsessed with weight, she's going to have a hard time doing weight training to put on the muscle that might say she hasn't lost any weight, but she's losing fat, but she doesn't see it because the scale doesn't move. The other thing is, she's weighing every gram of food, another obsessive. She's really trying hard here, guys, but this is a job for her, and it shouldn't be a job. And people that are weighing and tracking, they're doing it because it seems to be the latest and greatest thing that people are doing. I kind of did it, but not even to that extent when I was in shows for years. I just knew that I had to eat whole foods. I had to have protein at 3 to 4 meals. And you don't even have to weigh your protein. Like you don't have to. Just look at the palm of your hand. Your palm of your hand is how much protein you would eat for your body size. People that are taller, she's only 5'2", she's my height. People that are taller have bigger palms. They get to eat more. That's the way it is. Us smallies, we don't get to eat very much. So I'm guessing this woman would be between 15 and 1,800 calories. Now we might have to dip her a bit lower, but I wouldn't do anything with this woman until we get that cleared out and get her out of the food noise and get her training in the gym properly, because I have no idea how she's training. She's also looking at the gym as the weight loss. Don't do it. It's not a weight loss. The weight loss is in the food and the daily movement in your lifestyle, and the gym is for shaping and toning and strengthening. So that's the difference. And a lot of women are beating themselves up in the gym and they're like, how come I'm not losing any weight? Separate them out. It's easier to train, believe it or not, than it is to manage your food 7 days a week. So I would want to know, what do weekends look like? What do your meals look like? Let's see your portions. All of my women have to give me 3 days worth of pictures, not just tell me what you eat. And you don't change anything. And 1 or 2 of those days is weekends if they have a 9 to 5 job. I want to see everything because I can't change what I can't see. And pictures tell me a lot more than saying, well, I had 2 cups of oatmeal and I had like a third of this or that. I don't want to see measurements. I want to see your food. Then I can do a personalized food plan. So that's kind of where I would go with this girl. I just want to sit on my couch with a family sized bag of crisps and a bottle of wine and forget about it all. She is in overdrive. She is overthinking. She's overworking and she's become obsessed. And that needs to be backed off first. So the best thing for her would be to get a coach that is going to write stuff out for her, so that she can take the reins off of that intense control she has in her body and in her mind and in her food and in what she's doing. She's working against herself, and it's like trying to beat yourself up into a body transformation. It doesn't work that way. We have to love ourselves into health, and when we love ourselves into health, then we're going to want to feed our body well. We're going to want to move our body. We're going to look at things and go, do I really want that? Because 10 minutes after I splurge, what are you going to feel like? You're going to feel like shit, right? And this is where the shame and the guilt cycle comes in. And she's headed right down that path because she's so tight and constricted, and she has this intense sense of control because no doubt this woman has been on this page, which I won't mention the name, for a long time and seeing everybody else talking about their percentages of macros and the food scale that they use and the calories that they consume and all this other numbers stuff. Numbers don't do justice when you're not coming from a place of curiosity and momentum and striving to do better instead of this overzealous control factor. No doubt this woman has a lot of responsibilities in her world. She already feels tired when she when she started her post. She said, I'm at the point where I'm sick of thinking about calories. And she goes into it. I hate weight training. Okay. So we know where she's resonating in her emotional world. It's not a good place. I don't blame her. But this is where I'll hear women say, when I lose the weight, I'll feel better. And what I always say, because I'm an empowerment coach, when you feel better, you'll lose the weight because your body will let go. Your nervous system will have some sense of security and safety, and it can move into what it naturally does. But if you're push, 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 push like this, what happens when something is in resistance? You always get a pushback, and her body's going to push back, but her lifestyle is going to push back. And guaranteed, this woman, if she doesn't change this pattern, she's going to land on the couch with a bottle of wine and a bag of chips, and it will possibly continue for weeks and months, and she'll go down that rabbit hole. And we don't want that. So I don't know enough about this woman, but I want to look at her lifestyle. I want to know, is she married or single? What is her job? Does she have children? What is her date? What does every day look like? What do the weekends look like? Show me pictures of your food. How are you moving your body in the gym? But more important, guys, I want to talk with her. Now, I'm getting a lot of sense of her energy from the post, of course. But when I'm doing these strategy calls that I do, I'm listening. I'm listening to what words they're using, what words they're not using, when they pause, when they might take a breath. All of that is giving me a story and a picture of where this woman is in her world. And I need that to be able to have a toehold, to be able to say, okay, I got it. I see where you're at. Now we can look at the particulars around, percentages of this or that. I don't like hard percentages, honestly, guys. Intuitive eating is a skill set. One woman suggested here that she just leave everything and go to intuitive eating. She doesn't have the skill set to go into intuitive eating because it doesn't mean just letting everything go and just eating. And you know what to do with eating. I don't think she does. I think there is something there that is keeping her from trusting herself and being able to move into a place of trusting that she can manage her own world. All trust is out the window here. So unless she gets some kind of an intervention, she may just go off the deep end. Once I get this woman rolling, what I might recommend is a refeed or a cheat. They are different. I won't go into that now. I've done videos on that, but it's basically time off the clock. This woman needs time off the clock. She needs a break. But it's hard because I need to know her personality. If she's a woman that tends to go on like extreme, extreme contractions and then she binges, it's probably not a good idea. There are some women that can have a little treat every day, and that allows their body a little bit of freedom, and the weight continues to, my internet keeps going out here, the weight continues to go down, which is a great thing. But some women, it's easier if they go for 4 or 5 days and then they have a refeed or a cheat meal. And that better suits them. So it's all about the personality of the woman that's sitting in front of you. So I hope that helps. I did reach out to this woman with my thoughts on it. She wouldn't be my client. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit my my coaching. But hopefully there will be somebody there. And I did say you need to find a coach that works with women in your situation, but you need to loosen the reins here. And there are other ways of looking at things here where you need some freedom and you need some fresh air here. And then everything will be a I want to and I get to instead of I have to. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope my internet didn't flounder too much. I live out in the boonies, so we'll see what happens. Okay, lots of love. Keep on rocking on, okay? Ciao.